It's the time to get down.
That's it! Marijuana for Dummies! All right. Welcome to Marijuana for Dummies, the show that deals with the miseducation of marijuana. You know, bunch of developments, always. Even one of the big ones is it appears that the president and the attorney general are not totally agreeing on what marijuana policies should be going forward. And so that's the subject of a lot of rumor. So can't really comment on it because you hear stuff all over the place. We just hear that they don't agree. Sessions is notorious for being anti-marijuana, while the president is notoriously more liberal. So, but let me tell you one of the hot items. So California has passed a law that bans drone delivery of legalized pot.
Regular mail? Regular mail. You want regular mail preference?
That's what I said.
What?
So it was really, the article was really labeled buzzkill, start a buzzkill, because in the article that I read from ARS Technical, the good article, was that they said, well, this is going to really be a buzzkill for a bunch of the startups. And I go, well, maybe, maybe not. I mean, right now, the whole thing, even in California, is the ability to fly over and deliver anything. Amazon's working on that. It's going to be a thing. And I would say, once we are fully accepting of the legality of marijuana, it'll come to you and every. How about, Uber marijuana? I get Uber Eats. They go out and bring me food. What about Uber marijuana? Where they just go to the dispensary and bring me weed. Why? Somebody's writing that down right now. I'm doing it. I know. You're writing it down right now.
They're already doing it, man.
Because I think marijuana delivery services, even via automobiles, is a wonderful asset. So it doesn't have to be I still have my, my questions about drones because they're going to hit somebody in the head. Just telling you.
So wait a minute.
It's always new. I mean, ultimately it'll get better, but in the beginning they're gonna hit a bunch of people in the head. So some people are gonna be shooting the drone, throwing balls at the zone, the basketball, football.
What are the ramifications for the imperfections you can align with alcohol?
The same.
Driving
less, but maybe less of.
Right.
So these are things you have to be concerned with, right?
Right.
Actually, Vic, you made a point. Maybe it's better for you to have the weed delivered than to be driving to get the weed. You probably had a couple beers while thinking it over.
Right.
A glass of wine.
See, I'm just
saying, probably doing that polypharmacy, smoking a couple cigarettes,
having
a glass of wine. And
I'm still in the same position, you guys. I'm trying to figure out, do we lose physical and mental capabilities as we get older? Yes or no?
I know I have. The brain is the third thing to go.
So let me just try to figure this out. A lot of politicians are at that what they call retirement age and beyond. How come they get the exception to the rule? And are we being led astray? Because if the rules don't apply across the board, they must be X-men and women, right? Super decision makers on the best interest of America. We're going to make America great again. I want you to know that, Mario, that the retirement age should be rescinded. Because you get smarter when you get over 75.
I want to retire earlier. Anyway, I did. Anyway. Well, let me tell you let me read a piece of this. Okay. Sure, a drone can already deliver you a pizza in California, but the California Bureau of Cannabis Control is forbidding the delivery of marijuana by an autonomous vehicle, whether from the sky or the ground. So no autonomous vehicles. And I quote, transportation may not be done by aircraft, watercraft, rail, drones, human-powered vehicles, or unmanned vehicles, according to the emergency regulations unveiled Wednesday by the state's Cannabis Bureau, which anticipates issuing about 12,000 retail licenses the first year alone. First of all, I didn't even know we had a California Bureau of Cannabis Control. Now, cut their fucking budget. Excuse me, look, sorry. I'm just saying, you cut people's budgets. Yeah, we won't have enough cannabis regulators. I don't know. But I guess we want it regulated. Somehow they're going to mess this up, okay? You can just feel it, can't you? You can feel they're just going to mess this up. But I just want you to know, at least it's being considered. And for those of you considering startups, that's a big one. The number 2 thing on today's show, marijuana, is I got to mention something about hash. Hash, or things like hash, they're doing there's all new concentrates. There's new terms that's being used for these. But hash is making a comeback. Now people say, what was hash? Originally, hash came about from the people who were handling marijuana. And that when you were working with it, the resin would tend to coat your hands. I know of you who've grown marijuana like I have in the past and had to cut the leaves and trim. So you have really wonderful flowering plants. They get sticky. They get sticky because the weed plant secretes a resin, which is the THC. As part of it's trying to attract the pollen. So the plant is trying desperately to get pregnant. It secretes a resin that's there to attract pollen. And that resin makes it sticky, and that resin is what makes it potent. So you want your plants hot and horny. Hot and horny, just juicy with resin juice.
Hot and horny?
Hot and horny plants.
Okay.
All dripping with resin.
Is
it wonderful? Is it visual enough? Okay, so in handling that, the people who would handle it, their hands would be coated up to the elbows with the resin.
Right.
As part of their cleanup, they would take the resin, let it dry some, roll it off their hands.
Right.
Almost like any of you ever played with white glue. You know what I'm talking about? So they would take the resin and roll it into balls.
Right.
Those balls were pure resin. And they would have some dirt in it, a few twigs, leaves, some stuff. But that was hash. Extremely potent.
Right.
Very popular in Europe.
Right.
To me, hard to smoke. If you can smoke hash and not explode into coughs,
Right.
you got to hit that stuff light. Okay? Now, I have a hash collection, mainly out of nostalgia. And the reason why it's probably a collection, because once I buy some, I smoke a teeny bit of it, don't smoke it anymore. That's why it's being in the collection. But now, the ways that they're making, I don't even know we don't use the term hash. Maybe that's not the correct term.
Right.
It's all really rosin. Because now they have ways of extracting that from the weed using presses, all kind of presses, okay? Not so much the solvents, which people have used solvents because people are trying to get away from those chemicals.
Right.
They got organic hash, vegan hash. But anyway, the process has been either traditionally with pressure or heat, and now with they have specialized machines, you guys, that just do it. Take a look, some of this stuff. And if you've watched Vice TV at all, you'll see. But this type of hash, where they squeeze it out, let it air dry, is very popular now. And it smokes way, way, way different. So I could just tell you that now I buy some every now and then. Part of the reason that I don't buy a lot is because I used to be a cigarette smoker. And being a cigarette smoker, there's still a part of me that enjoys the smoke. In fact, a blunt, which is a joint rolled in tobacco, often a high quality tobacco. People are known to take cigars, cut them, unravel them, and then roll marijuana. A blunt is especially rolled by a beautiful female while I watch her. It's like foreplay. So a beautiful blunt rolled by a beautiful female, that is the best smoking experience for me. So I want to smoke. And these things are not so much designed for the smoking experience. Same thing about using a vape, which I'm going to use in the future. We're going to explain how to use a vaporizer, which doesn't burn the weed. It just extracts the THC with heat.
Right.
It doesn't burn it. It doesn't combust. those things, as good and healthy as they may be, vape is considerably healthier, I guess. They're not the same smoking experience, and therefore, to me, not as enjoyable. Now, to those of you who don't smoke, like I know people who smoke weed who hate cigarettes. In that case, vaping may be an alternative for you because you don't have any smoke. It just heats the weed to a set temperature. The THC vaporizes. You feel like you're almost sucking in water vapor. A slight taste of it. Like water vapor. It's no smoke at all.
Right.
That may be the thing for you. For people who like smoke, like me, I have 2 of them. And it just isn't the same. I think, where's one? Well, here's one right here. Man, I got 2 of them, see? I bought one of the digital models, Vic. Take a look. This bad boy, set the temperature so you can get different marijuana metabolites come out at different temperatures. So theoretically, you could select that by selecting the temperature which you're vaporizing.
Right.
And you get more of a certain kind of a smoke. We'll talk about this more in the future. But at least I want you to be aware that these are alternatives out there for people who don't want to smoke. You know, the rosin is becoming really, and the purity and the methodology so different today. But there's at least alternatives for you out there. Those of you who's your health focus doesn't want you smoking.
True.
Okay.
True.
And for some of you, the edibles is a wonderful thing. Even though you got to watch your dosages on that too. Right. Because it can get you good. All right. Everybody. Marijuana.